like, I believe our next meeting is the last one. So we can like start, we could start thinking about what do we want to accomplish for next year. So, yep. Hi, Kenny.
Hey, how you doing?
All right.
So I know you guys have probably talked about this so much, but would you mind just telling me a little bit about, I guess, what the last event you guys are pulling off will
Sure.
be?
No problem. So while we're waiting for some folks, definitely have no problem. Kenny, have you been with us before, Kenny?
Not to this meeting, not
Okay.
to a youth committee, yeah.
Okay. So just to let you know, youth committee is we have a focus on the older young adults and youth. So our focus is mainly for like 16 to 24-year-olds. And, what is it that we could do as a committee to like support this group of individuals and in the community? What can we offer? So, we came up with a few things. We had some, ambitious moves and things we wanted to make. And so we were able to do, our last event was the job and internship fair for that age group. And so we were able to we actually had gotten 14 vendors committed, which, but actually 7 actually showed up. And so it was various community-based organizations like Community Council and Mediation, CAMBA, Bridge Street, one that I forgot what the full name of it was, something golf, but it's like some golfing and teaching the kids something different outside of what they're normally doing in the city. And the Army came, one that deals with like supporting elderlies and seniors and like the jobs and things that they could get within those fields. So we had a great event. There was 7, like I said, 7 organizations came, and then we had about 30 to 40 families that actually showed up that were there. So we were able to introduce them to them. And then we had SYEP there, which is Summer Youth Employment. So most of the kids who attended, or young adults who attended, they signed up for SYEP on the spot. So, we're hoping to open doors for them to have jobs over the summer, but I'm looking to look into, what can we also work to do for during the school year, what is being offered. We've had a couple of visitors and guest speakers, like from DYCD, which is Department of Youth and Community Development. They were able to say like the various programs and things they offer young adults and adolescents and even younger people. And then we've had superintendents, their team come in and speak to us within our district. We're District 17, as well as a couple of other districts. So we've had people come in and talk to us. We've had principals and community workers come in and talk to us about various services and things that we can offer young people. So, those are some of the things that we could do. I think that we did pretty good this year, but I feel like we need to do more and do even better next year. What we also have coming up, and that we'll be speaking about a little bit, is CB9 is having a full fair that will be outside at Dr. Robert McNair Park. And we're going to be, our part of it is going to be like a little film festival where we have some of the youth from Soul to Souls and Real Works, a couple of the community organizations that have youth films that talk about various issues. So we'll have them feature some of their films, but as well as having like fun day with them. So our part will be around like having competitions with parents and kids, or other kids and other kids, meaning that we maybe do like potato sack race, hopscotch, double dutch, steal the bacon, tug of war. So it's going to be like a day to like have fun and in the community, as well as then at the end of the night, when it starts to get darker, we'll show some films. and it'll just be a wonderful day. And then it'll be a lot of vendors there. So some that will be focused, like the vendors that came, or some that didn't show up, but the ones that did come will be also attending to show what we offer in the community for young adults and youth. And so that's our next huge project we have for this year. And that'll be June 3rd, Saturday, June 3rd.
That sounds amazing. Are you looking for any, I guess, like community board members to like volunteer for the day or to
Definitely,
I would
absolutely. We're gonna need a lot of help that day because I'm sure it'll be a lot of people that will attend. The last one we had really good turnout. So we absolutely will need people to, be able to walk around, make sure that things are good and in order, direct where vendors can sit and set up. I definitely would love if there's people who want to take pictures. I would like little videos. Me personally, I am a filmmaker. So if I get those type of footage, we could create a wonderful end of the day edited video about, what it is that we'll be doing, that we've done that day. So yes, we definitely will need people, and also people to help set up and break down. So because we have to put all the tables, chairs and everything in, put it down and then put it back. Any other questions? Hello?
Oh, no other questions for me.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for that.
No problem.
And you said that's June 3rd, a Monday?
June 3rd is a Saturday.
June 3rd. Oh, sorry. Got it.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just sending a quick text to those who I see a few people not here, and then I'm going to get started. Okay, so I'm gonna just do a quick, just go over our agenda really quickly. So Janelle, Kenny, hi Felice. Are there any thoughts or ideas or anything that you think that you would love to add or think that you could bring with your expertise?
Is that for the fun day or
Well, not just for the fun day, even like, if there's things for the fun day you think would be fun to add, you could definitely, this is definitely your time and your opportunity to be able to add that. But if there's anything you're thinking of for next year, I'm saying like the next, because after June, we always go on hiatus, July and August. So we come back in September. So if there's any fun ideas or things we think we'd like to do for next year, if you have any ideas about stuff, then you can let us know.
So were we still trying to do possibly that college tour? Obviously not this year, but
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, so I put in, I did turn in the discretionary fund application and grant. So I did that, and I believe it's gonna be like another month or so before I hear about that. But I also put in with Citizens Committee, I put in a grant to help supplement having a few $1,000s for the community fair that we're up now. So I believe I'm supposed to know something, hopefully by the end of this month, I believe, to see if we'll have some funding through that. So I did those 2 grants. So I'm hoping that we could get that so we could do the full fair. So that is another thing we was going to partner with Soul to Souls, which is also my nonprofit, to do a college tour and also invite, Community Board 9 to be a part of that so we could get young people in our community to visit 9 or 10 HBCU schools. And my goal is that every senior that is on the trip is accepted to multiple schools that we're going to visit. So they'll have their packet and everything together and get on the spot acceptance.
So I was just about to ask if the college tours were going to be virtual versus in person, but you just,
No, we want to do a big in-person.
I love that.
Yeah, so we have a whole thing. We're trying to do a big in-person fair, college, tour, because I think that that's, virtual is okay, but that's not going to bring the excitement to a kid once they actually get on a campus and see what it's like.
That is totally true. I'm actually a HBCU alum, so if you need any help connecting to any HBCUs,
Yeah.
you can use me as a resource.
All right, me too. What school did you go to?
I went to VSU.
Okay, I went to Cheney.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Okay, no problem. All right, so let me just pull this up real quick and oops. Pull up. All right. Yes, I think a lot of people are like busy and doing stuff today. So a few people here today, but listen, it don't matter if we have one person, everybody here makes a difference and means something, and your input is always appreciated. So I definitely thank you for coming. And I'm still happy that you especially those of you that are new did join us, because that's a new person that you guys could come and be with us for throughout the rest of this the end of this year, and then coming back on for next year. All right. So let me share the screen. All right. All right. So just to go over, we talked and I welcomed everybody that is here. We didn't really get a chance to introduce members. Does anybody want to introduce themselves, say a little bit about who they are? Because we do have a couple of you that are new. So can you share with us, let's start with Kenny. Can you share with us your background and what brought you here today?
Yeah, no problem. So my name is Kenny Laguerre. I'm from the community council from the 71st. So I just got put into position as the youth organizer. And so just really trying to connect and see what other resources the community has to offer, as well as try to see, what's our vision, what's our mission, what are we striving to do collectively, so that, I can hopefully be able to take part, share resources, as well as, in a sense, come up with and support the things that you're striving to do. And so that's where I'm from. And so, yeah, I'm just really hoping that I can be part of your mission and really support it.
Okay. So tell me, Kenny, what is 71st Community Council? Can you tell me a little bit what that is?
Okay, so the 71st Community Council, they serve and they work for the community, but they also work in conjunction with the police department.
Okay.
And so the main thing what I'm seeing is they're hosting meetings on a monthly basis, allowing a forum for the community to be able to address concerns or things that they are aware of. And so that's mainly what I'm coming to learn and to see that's taking place. My role is to initiate and serve the youth in that category. And so really just trying to see what can be done specifically, since I serve a smaller region than the community board itself. But that's primarily what I'm seeing, what we're doing, as well as addressing issues. But it's heavy on collaboration with the police department. And really just trying to allow the community to see how we can work together.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you. Did you come on before once, Kenny?
No, but we met at the fair.
Okay. I was like, I know I've seen you before. I'm just like, I
Yeah.
remember, and now it's like coming to me. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And Janelle, can you tell us a little bit about you?
Sure. Hi, everyone. So my name is Janelle. I am a soon-to-be newly appointed CB9 board member. I'm from the area. Actually, was born and raised in the area. And currently I work within like public and private partnerships. I work for the Mayor's Fund to advance New York City. Prior to that, I worked in youth development. I actually worked for a program called Bigs in Blue, which bridges the gap between New York City youth and the NYPD. So I'm very invested in like youth development and youth services. And it's an area that I'm extremely passionate about. I've been attending a lot of the public safety committee meetings, and I sort of want to like transition into like attending youth service committee meetings, just because like, as I mentioned, it is, youth, I'm passionate about the youth, right?
Mhm.
So that's what brings me here today.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Okay. Who else is here? Latween, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Hi guys, my name is Latween. This is my first full year on the community board, and sorry, I feel so bad. But I joined the youth committee. I used to work in youth development, primarily with the Boys and Girls Club of America. But then recently I got into a more corporate position, but I found that I really missed working with the youth, and I just thought this would be the perfect avenue for that. And yeah, I just like helping out. So
Okay.
hope to see you guys at the fair.
Okay. Who am I? Felice.
Hi there. Hello, everyone. I am working with Kenny, or Kenny has joined us at the 71st Precinct Community
You got to
Council.
talk up a little, Felice, because you're like coming in a little crinkly.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes, just for some
Is
reason
that
it's
better?
not clear. It's like
Okay, wait.
it sounds a little funny, but go ahead. I think we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Is this better?
Now it's better. Yes, much better.
Okay. Okay, hi, I'm Felice Robertson. I was born and raised in this community, Crown Heights.
Mhm.
Kenny is new with us at the 71st Precinct Community Council, and we welcome him full-heartedly. We need him. We need the youth.
Mhm.
With that, I also am affiliated with the union. I District Council 1180, pretty much all of it, AFME, pretty much.
Okay.
I sit as the Sergeant of Arms on the 71st Precinct, and Kenny is correct. We work in conjunction with the 71st Precinct, and what we're striving for is to show the unity that we have with police officers and our youth. My husband had ran for the city council last time, and in running, we discovered that these youth, they do not want to be in gangs, okay? But they realize that in order to get out, they have to either be in the service, in the army, or die. What do they call that? There's a saying that they have, but preferably a lot of them, they do not want to be in gangs. So to have Kenny or and there are other things that's coming down the pipeline, but I can't really speak on. But it's to help the youth, and we want to get them at grade school, junior high, and high school. Okay. And stop this unnecessary I don't know if to say killing, but it's some sort of means of survival, because I tell you, they feel like nobody cares. They feel no one is interested in them. They feel that they have no choice. They just feel that they're pretty much lost, and we have to let them know that they're not lost. Okay.
Yeah, so it's
Thank you.
great thank you, Felice, for saying that, because part of what I do with Soul to Souls is we have programs in schools, high schools, but we also have a contract with Rikers Island. And so
Nice.
also in the RNDC, which is the young adult males section. And so what they've
Very
done
good.
is they have now separate them and put them in what they call dorms, their cells or whatever. They have put them in based on the gang. So I guess it'd be different gangs in different sections, and they'd have conflicts. So now they're like, okay, if this set is here, this set is here, this set is here. So the one that I'm with is, I believe they're a set of the Bloods, and we talked about joining, and I realized I was like, maybe that wasn't the best question to ask, but I said, you're here now. I said, would you make the same decision to be in gangs? You know, most of them, I think, looking at their face, I was like, oh, maybe that wasn't a great question to ask.
No, that
One
was a
of
great
them
question.
actually said, no, because, like they made these decisions, and some of the reason that they're there is because they were in the gang. And it was easier for them to say that when we talked about, I talked about like we all need our young men out there, making
Yeah.
the purpose that everyone has. And how are you going to fulfill your purpose in jail? And I said, and they talked about the things they did and why and all this stuff. And I said, okay. I said, how many of you have kids? They was like, two of them in there have children. One is 21 that has 3 kids. The other one, I think he's just barely 20. And I said, well, are you the kind of man you would want your daughter to be with? Because all of them had girls. And they was like, oh, you set us up, so that like took us to another level of conversation in terms of what kind of man do you want to be? And I said, I look at this place, there's only one building for women, and there's all the other buildings are filled with nothing but males. And then from what I heard, even the women building, they're taking one of the wings and making it a male's wing because there's so many men in jail. So, we really got our work cut out for us, because I
Yes.
think we really need to be offering alternatives to what it is that is becoming appealing to them, so that they see that they can make other choices and
Oh, I'm
be
sorry.
productive people in the society. A lot of them, I believe, really actually need that, but I think they need to feel it more than anything. But it's like, if you have a group of people who's coming and saying, hey, be our brother, and we're together and we're doing this, and nobody else is giving that, then what is their choice going to be? And, we talked about education and the importance and all, and I think it's like they realize a lot more things now that they've made their mistakes, but pushing to, get their diplomas and all of those things while they're in schools. So, and then there's always politics and stuff that they talk about, but I think we have to, and I think one of the things that they've said, and this is, I was talking to one of the young ladies yesterday, was that they've said that, us coming there makes them feel like they matter. And that it made me say, there's things we need to do in the community that make them feel like they matter, like that they
Yes.
have value, that they have value, and that they mean something, they're not just an annoyance and, these bad kids who's doing this, all the judgments that go along with being a young person nowadays. We have to really switch that, because if we don't make them feel like they matter, they make decisions that are showing that they're not enough.
Well, it's actually our fault, let's say. When I was attending junior high and high school, there was much more that was being offered, from language to finance to like a hobby or music, craftsmanship. There was just so much that was offered that I could take outside without spending money outside to learn it. So these things are taken away. Okay. And why, I don't know. Okay. Right. And this is where we are with our young people. I don't understand, and I have to say this because it really hurts me to my heart, that why are the older people making decisions on things that they had already for free and that was offered to them, but yet they don't see the future of our children, which will be taken over. Okay. Because everybody else is going to die out. You have to prepare them for this future, to take care of this themselves and this world. But yet they want to take that away because they feel they're going to live forever. You hear what I'm saying? I mean, like, my God, what's the logic?
Right.
And that's what's happening.
Right. So I guess we got to come together and figure out, what it is that we can actually do and do for our community more. And what can we create? What events, what connections can we create for them? Maybe, I feel like the community day, the fun day on our part of it is like a good start. But what can we offer or say after that? And how can we help them to know they matter? So just to move on a little bit, the Family Fun Day, like I said, is going to be June 3rd. We turned in the proposal to CB9. I also turned in a proposal for Felice had a connection for a DJ. I know Latween also said she had a DJ, but this DJ that Felice had recommended, he also has the equipment for the film. So he has the video screen, he has a big sound system, he has a stage, and he has the stage, the DJ, the film equipment, and a projector. So he's offering all of that for $2,000, which I think is like a steal because that stuff is really expensive. So that's a great price. I did turn in the invoice to CB9, so we'll see what it is that they'll say about that. And if there's any, hi Nicholas, give us a second.
Yes.
If there's anything that people have an expertise or connections to something you feel that we should do, please let me know. You're definitely welcome to put that out there. Nicholas.
Yes, thank you for allowing me to speak. Actually, I've been trying to raise some money to pay for that. And you already did the legwork because I have a friend who tried to reach the break if we're going to provide that kind of assistance. You already have that. I think the work on us is to really, let's try to find the money. I spoke to Christian Lubo, who gave me a reference, so I've got to send a couple of emails to an organization that fund community activity up to $3,000. Hopefully I'll have a conversation with them. So that way, that part will be covered. If he has all the stuff you're describing, I think that's what we are looking for. Having the stage, the sound system. I already been contacted by a couple of, there's a reggae band or more of people that couldn't make it last year. They already contacted me to see if they're interested.
Okay.
So you and I, well, first of all, my main concern, let's find the money and get it. 2,000 is an absolutely tremendous price.
Yeah.
Absolutely tremendous. With that kind of situation, usually it would cost you 10,000 or more to get this done. This is incredible. So
Right.
I will, and I'm going from committee to committee to see where we can raise that money if CB9
Well,
cannot provide.
if I may, he works for the correctional facility. He's also president of Tivoli Towers. So he's very well known in the community. So these are the things that he enjoys doing. So I'm really grateful to hear that he really didn't charge that much money.
Yeah.
Okay. And he was willing to work with all of us, with
Yeah.
you especially. Yes.
Yeah, he did it. That was a great price when I saw what he was willing to charge. I was like, wow, this is great. I know we could not find that for anything better than that.
No,
And you said he works
absolutely.
for what, Felice?
He works in a correction facility.
Oh, okay.
Which correction
Yeah.
facility?
I think it's Rikers Island.
I
I'm
Well-
gonna ask him.
Well,
Yeah,
one of
ask
the
him.
things I'm going to try to do since he does that, there's an organization called the Association of Haitian Correctional Officers. I'm going to try to add to them. Maybe they can help give us some, since he's one of them, to see if they
I can ask him.
support him and do that. You could ask him, okay? And also this time I'm going to try to have organization of Haitian law enforcement organization, also if they can participate. They've been doing a lot of activity and successful activity. And I know you have some connection with DC 37, Felice. How close are you to Sean Dion Francois?
I'm good with him. Why?
Good with him now because I want to try to reach him and also my friend Jack to see, because they usually support those kind of activities. And I think this is one thing we haven't had a community fair at the presence of the union.
Right. I always pitch that.
If you can reach out, because if you can reach, are you close to the leadership in DC 37, Henry Garrido, and all these other people, Anthony West, and so on and so forth?
You have to first say to me what it is that you need, or what are you asking me for?
Well, number one, this is what they can provide us. Based on my prior history with DC 37, because I was part of the executive board at one time in my life. I came from SSU Local 371 with Charles Hensley. So
I remember Charles.
If you send the request to the union, they usually find some way to give you some money. You send them the invitation, and ask them, we need some money to support that activity. And there's, I mean, within the city, and you have all this agglomeration of union. We could approach many of the union president. They have that discretion where they can give some money for this kind of activity, because that's
This
also covering their members. This is giving back to their members, because most of the people coming from the city are of those municipal unions.
Sean Sweats, Francois, yes.
Jean-Pierre
So-
Francois, he's the president of DC 37. He's also the president of Local
He's the
372, the Board of Education employees that covers the school crossing guards and a lot
Right,
of
he's
people that are not
372.
UFD. Yeah,
Yeah, he's 372.
372, the non-UFD
Right.
team in the school. That is the most of the powers, the parent coordinators, the school crossing guard, he cover everybody within
Right.
in the Board of Education that's not UFD.
So you would have to give a proposal for what
Yeah.
you want.
I
Okay.
basically let's send them a letter. We say we're doing this, we'd like your help. If they and
Okay.
then ask them if they have a process, and then we'll follow their process. But the first is to make the contact.
Oh, I can make the contact. You just have to do the proposal. Okay, I'll see,
Well,
I'll see how
I don't
I
know,
can.
when you say proposal, each of them may have a process or form to follow, but I think we talk to them first, and that's that if they have it, give us the proposal, we give them their form of proposal and we do it. So I think it's a letter of request should be the first one. Because I know when I was very active in that union and there were community activity, I would approach the president, he said, my organization is having certain for, are you interested
So-
in supporting?
So I don't want to take up the conversation away from the chair.
Mhm.
So what we can do is you give me your number and you and I can talk, okay? 'Cause this is our
Absolutely.
meeting.
All right,
Okay.
thanks. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Mhm.
So I think that's a great idea. And that's great if you could work to get some funding for this.
Mhm.
Kenny, is it possible? Because what we do in our group is if you're open to it, you could share your phone number and email. Janelle, same thing. And then we have like a little text, so we remind each other about
I'm gonna put my
Next.
number in the chart if it's.
well, you can't do chat on here, so they have to
Oh,
tell. me.
You know, some
so-
meetings have it, not every meeting. This one.
All right, Nicholas, let me
Mm-hmm.
get through this, please, so I can move. All right, go ahead. What was you gonna say?
If you could please, excuse me, I'm going to get the information from you, okay? I'm going
All
to
right,
jump
so-
off into this other meeting if that's
No
okay.
worries. All right,
Okay.
thanks, Felice. Kenny, what is your contact if you're okay with sharing?
Oh my God.
Yeah, you can take it. It's
Oh my
929
God, I pick up the
Mhm.
phone.
You're
483.
talking,
I hear what you're saying.
Felice, go ahead, 929
Yes, 929 483
483
7389.
7389. And what's your email?
My email is going to be lag
Mm-hmm.
period
Mm-hmm.
KENN
Mm-hmm.
at gmail.com.
Okay. Are you comfortable with sharing yours, Janelle?
Sure. It's Janelle, JENELLE, and
Mhm.
then it's Basil, BAZIL at gmail.com.
Okay. That was simple.
Yeah.
And what's your phone number?
845-636-0093.
All right. So just really quickly, in addition to that, another thing that I have been working on is, and you guys can tell me if it's something that you're interested in, but I was, at the community fridge on Classen, which is across from one of our office spaces, and saw that people actually really do use the community fridge if they have food insecurity. So one of my thoughts was having a combination of a couple of people. I spoke to Crystal Hudson's, what is she, her campaign manager, spoke to Dante. I was thinking it would be great if we could all collaborate, and even with Soul to Souls, to put together a community fridge and then encourage people who can and who have to donate food and put it in there. And then also make sure that, periodically, if it's once a week, I clean the fridge, make sure it's okay this week, you do it next week. If I have things, I'm putting stuff in the fridge, I'm encouraging my neighbors who might be more affluent and to have that. One of the areas I was thinking of approaching was, do you guys know Wise Deli at the corner of Eastern Parkway and Franklin, right by the train station?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was thinking we could add, because you have to have a power source, so it has to come from somewhere. And right next to it, I know they have a power source right there because they have an ice machine. So I was gonna ask them for it, but then I thought about it, because where I've seen the community fridges, it's a little bit like, I noticed they tend to be a little bit away from really busy places, and that's a really high traffic area. So I'm wondering, do you guys think that would be a good spot? Or should we consider a spot that's close in that area, but not as high traffic? Because there could be benefits in down, not so much benefits to that. But what are you guys' thoughts? Is that something we should think about doing? Because we can get the fridge donated.
That's a really good point. So I've noticed the ones I like walk past are, they're decorated, they're kind of inconspicuous, they're like they're in between blocks.
Yes.
And then because also too, sometimes, people might not necessarily want to, be seen coming from the
Yes.
fridges. So
Yes.
I think if we can find one maybe like in the middle of a block or maybe on the, somewhere like that. That's
Okay.
what I've noticed. They're very
Okay.
kind of hidden and decorated. So that might be.
Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking like, like let's say there are kids, because I was thinking we wanted to be visible enough for like maybe kids in the community, they could grab it. But then I was like, if it's right there, people might not, want to be like, oh, any and everybody could see me. So I think that that's a good point. Maybe going another block down to the deli on, what's that cross street? Maybe it's President or Carroll. There's another deli down there, and it's kind of a little bit off, but the schools are still all right there. So it's still an area where it's accessible. So I think that but do you guys think that that's something we should pursue? Because I can continue to look into it.
I think it can be definitely beneficial. I still feel like the area is still going to be high traffic. But I think it definitely would be a benefit. Are you expecting more youth to benefit from it or more adults?
I mean, well, that's the thing. We can't control who takes
Right.
what, you know what I mean? But, I was thinking like if it's in this little vicinity, we know that we have like 2 schools on one block, another school on another block. You got 3 schools on that block because there's still an elementary school. So there's elementary, Clara Barton, Prospect Heights, the deaf school, and then you have W.E.B. Du Bois on the other side. So there's like a lot of things in the area. But at least it's a little bit, more off of Eastern Parkway, which means, it could be a little bit more private, I guess, to some degree. Nothing is totally private. But it's something, I just was thinking about, because when I saw people putting in, I started looking to see, do people go in and out of there? And they do. But I think the main thing for it to be is like just not to have the fridge. It's like us trying to get the community to like be like, because I realize sometimes I'm throwing food out. And it's like, why am I throwing away food? Like I should be putting that food, wrapping it up, and not like stuff I eat, but stuff that I'm like, oh, I didn't even remember I had this, let me put it in the fridge.
Yeah, and I see so many different kinds of people, old, young.
Yep.
So sometimes they look like college students. So
Yeah.
it's so many different kinds of people. So
Right.
it's kind of hard to control that, but
Yeah. All right, so I guess I'll continue to look into it. I know that I spoke to Dante about it. He sent me a couple things. We found out there was one on Rogers and
Oxide.
Parkside. Rogers
no,
and
not
Parkside.
Parkside, not way down there. There's
Oh,
Rogers
really?
and Union. There's
There
one
is
on
one.
Rogers and Union, and I didn't know that. So yeah, I think it'll be a great idea though for it to be, something that we give initiative to, and then maybe weekly on the community blast, we can remind people to, hey, you know, every week we could put a new flyer out. Hey guys, can you remember to donate to the community fridge, and, you know, give it some more publicity. Okay. So that's basically it for me. Does anybody have anything they want to add or say that we need to think about for the next one? Because we do have one meeting right before the 3rd, but it's going to be that very same week. So if you have any thoughts or ideas, the reason why I want to make sure I have people contact me is because as this is coming up, I may need to contact you and say, hey, you know, can you volunteer to do this, that, or the other? And it just makes it a little bit easier for me to be able to contact everybody and let them know what's going on in between our meetings. All right.
Do you already have like a flyer for it to be able to publicize it better? by chance?
I have a flyer that's related to us that I did put a flyer together, so I can share that with you, but I believe Community Board 9 did do or is about to do their own flyer. So I could give the one that we have for now, and I will check because I think they did just do one. So I'll find out for them to send it to us and I could share it with you guys.
If I may say, the community board flyer is already out. It's been
Okay,
sent out to
it
a
is
lot
out.
of people. If
Mhm.
you check your mail as a community board member, you should have received a couple of, receive it already.
Mhm.
And circulating whatever, I have to send it to many people already. So
Yeah.
and you also have you could a link where you could register all the organization that are going to be if you want to participate. And there's a short window because Dante want everything by May 8th, which is next week.
Okay. Thanks for letting me know because I have not read the last blast. So thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Nicholas. All right. John, you have your hand up?
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, okay. I was late to the meeting. I was working. I'm sorry. So I just jumped on when I got back into the office. I just was letting y'all know, apologize. I was late. I was out at an event. Sorry, work related. That's all I
Okay.
wanted to say.
Oh, no worries. All right. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate all of you for showing up. I will get the flyer that they have and I will send it to you guys in an email, okay? And if you have any questions or anything, you could let me know. Oh, I realized I didn't introduce myself. So yeah, my name is So Query. I'm the chair of the Youth Services Committee. I've been with the committee now. This is my second year. I was on the Education Committee as vice chair last year. I also have a nonprofit called Soul to Souls Incorporated, where we do work with youth and we do social emotional development, leadership development, college and career prep, as well as we have the kids create films to amplify their voices and to let them know what they want the world to know. So that's me. And if anybody has any questions, concerns, or anything, feel free to contact me. And I'll send it, like I said, I'll send the email out with the flyer. If there's any vendors or anybody you think should be added, let us know and send that information to me. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night and a good weekend.
All right.
Everyone.
Good night,
everyone.